Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday the 17th of May. It's been a couple months, I think, since I did a what sold on eBay video. I think it was, looking at my spreadsheet, I think the 7th of March was the last video where I showed what had sold up to that. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks with selling absolutely $0 of sales in that time period. I did have a period, like I've gone weeks and weeks without listing anything. I was waiting for the eBay changes to come in. Initially they said, well, like the new sales plans, initially they said end of April, so I was waiting for 1st of May. Then towards the end of April they said, oh, from the 12th of May you're going to be, you know, the new plans will kick in. So I thought, oh, do I list? I didn't, I held out. And then when the 12th of May came, they actually put me on, even though I sell under $25,000 a year, I found I was on the Pro Starter, which is exactly the same as like what I was on before, where I'm not paying a store fee or anything, but I'm just getting 13% fees. So I ummed and ahed whether I should stay on it. And I was reading some stuff on the eBay reselling groups and people posting. I thought, no, I'm going to go down to the zero fees and having to like factor in the buyer protection fee into my sales, my listing prices, I mean, which means a lot of work. You have to go into every listing and readjust your price, which is what I've been doing. So I've been ending sell similar, few things I have just totally haven't listed again. So I'm just going to see how that goes. So for those that may be watching from overseas, so basically there'll be no fees, like I'm not paying any percentage on my, like there's 0 fees on your sale, but there's a buyer protection fee. So the buyers will get charged a percentage of, I think it's like 4% if your item's between 0 and 20, and then it goes up to 6 and then 8%. So you have to factor that into your prices, which is still better than the 13% or whatever the fees are. But the other catch is you have to buy your postage labels if it's an item that can be packaged. Like if you're sending an envelope, like a stamp, you can go to the post office. But if you're sending parcels, you have to buy your shipping labels through eBay, not Australia Post, which is fine because I'm getting a better postage rate through eBay than I am with my business post, because I'm only on a very low band. I'm band 1 and I'm getting, I think, equivalent of band 2 through the eBay postage labels. So I'm hoping that'll work out better. We'll just see how it goes. So yeah, over the last week I have been, because it kicked in the 12th of May. So yeah, over the last 5 days I've just been sort of adjusting prices, or just totally like adjusting it to factor in the buyer protection, or just looking at what the current, selling prices are and things, and just readjusting prices like that way, taking some things down. So I will go through what I have sold since the 7th of March. So let's have a look. Haven't had May, like the last week has probably been the best week. But I did sell things before I did the whole revamp, and I've still got listings to go through and adjust the prices. But I've had like 250 odd listings in my, I call it a store, even though I'm not paying a store fee. So I had over 250-ish listings in my store. So there's a lot to have to adjust to factor in that buyer protection fee. Anyway, let's get into it. So 23rd of March, I sold one of these playing cards. I've still got heaps of them listed. I'm actually wondering whether to take them down and just do a bulk lot and just sell them. Anyway, that sold for, I took an offer, sold for $2.50 plus $2 post. Then I sold a Mediterranean cookbook for $19.95 plus post. That was one of my own personal cookbooks. Next one was this Toby 12 Adventures. I think, again, that was one of my own personal books that I decided to cull. And I think I did get the full price for that, $20. Yeah, it must be, because there's no line through it. So $20 plus the postage. It didn't come to 16 post. I think I got it in a small mailer, so I did refund the difference. Next, I sold two of the Matchbox model cars to the one person for $8.95 each, and I combined shipping. Sold this Vogue sewing book, vintage sewing book, for $40, including post. It sold like that when I listed it, so I think I might have listed it too low. Yeah, I reckon it sold within 15 minutes. It was so quick. It was very quick. Yeah, so that one sold. Next one was a sale which didn't eventuate. Had this cookbook listed. I picked it up for $1 at a church op shop. A church garage sale. They had all their cookbooks for $1. It's quite a big, heavy cookbook, and someone offered, I can't remember what someone offered me. Or no, I offered, they counted, I accepted, they didn't pay. So I don't understand why people do that. Like why counter if you're not prepared to pay? Anyway, so yeah, so then I sold a Fuggler, and I've forgotten to note what I sold that Fuggler for, but I did take an offer on that one. So that was, I think it was one that I'd bought like for myself, because I did have a small collection of Fugglers. I've still got the Christmas ones I have to get rid of. I should list them again actually before Christmas comes around. Next I sold a junk journal, and I don't even know if I gave 50% on that. The total sale including post, I took 26, because I just want to get rid of these ring bound journals. I'm not doing them anymore. I prefer sewn ones, so I just want to kind of clear them out. So yeah, I think I gave like 50% or something off that. Next one to sell was this cookbook, and it didn't sell for $32.45. I think it sold all up with post $24. I think I sent an offer. Yeah, I sent an offer. They counted. I just took it because it's been, I think, listed for a while. Next one to sell was this Zimmerman dress. I did list it at I listed it at $125. So that $133.20, I think, must have had the buyer protection fee added to it. Anyway, they offered me $70 plus post, and I took it. I've had that dress for a couple of years. I paid $8 at a church op shop, and it has just been sitting around waiting to be photographed, because I hate photographing clothes and I don't have anywhere decent. And even if you look at that photo, it's a pretty crappy photo. I don't have anywhere to hang clothes, and so I just took it on my mother-in-law's floorboard. So the first photo, I erased the background, and the first photo looks like that, and the others show the floorboards. Yeah, because I just don't have anywhere decent for clothing. So anyway, so that was good that I got rid of that. I was happy to take 70 given I paid 8. And then lastly, yesterday I sold this vintage planter. I actually did reduce. This is one of my end sell similars. I took it down about $10. I think I had it listed for $99.95 plus post. Took it down to $89.95. They offered me $70, and that's what I took. So this planter, it's actually supposed to have a little umbrella that goes in the front. I'm not sure you can see in the photo, but like there's a little hand, like it's holding something. Excuse me. And so it's supposed to have an umbrella. And when I was trying to find out what this was, I actually found a picture of what it's supposed to look like. And the full thing, someone sold it, I think it was in America, for like equivalent of about 360 Australian dollars. So I'm thinking, oh, if only I had the umbrella, I could have got a lot more. But anyway, I was pretty happy to get like, $70 plus post for this thing, which I think cost me either 50 cents or $1 at my church op shop, which no longer exists, unfortunately. But yeah, they used to list things so cheap. So yeah, I've had that for a few years. It has taken quite a while. And I've just packaged it up today. I'm really nervous about sending it something so breakable, because the heads are actually like the planter bits. There's like the heads at the back are actually, empty, hollowed. So yeah, so anyway, that was a good sale. So that is it. I've been to a couple op shops over the last few weeks. I did go to one down at Victor. I wanted to go to Adra, which it's a religious op shop, and I'm not sure of the religion, but they don't open on Saturdays, and they open on Sundays and a couple weekdays. So nothing to do with their religion. They won't open on Saturday. So you have to go down on Sunday. And then, so we went there, and that was it was just so disappointing from what I remember. I hadn't been there for a couple of years. So I don't think I bought anything there. But we did find another church run op shop, which we found out from talking to them is fully, they don't get any benefits or anything. And what they do is they run a food bank. So all their proceeds of their church, of their op shop, goes into buying produce so people can come and fill a bag for nothing, like, carrots, lettuce, potatoes, all the things. And that one was like it's the kind of op shop I like, where it's just that low prices and just, it's like a lion's shed. If you're in Australia, in Adelaide, you know what other lion's sheds are and that. So yeah, it was really good to discover another little op shop that's open on a Sunday. And I did buy 3 things. Again, breakables, which I was nervous about posting that thing today. I'm thinking, why do I buy breakables? But one is a pear dish, a lemon dish. Not a lemon. No, it is a lemon. A pear and a lemon. And then another one's a lemon sugar dish. The lemon sugar dish is a vintage made in Japan one. It does have a little chip on the top on one of the leaves, but it's not hugely noticeable. And the other 2 are made in Italy. And I did see the pear has sold for like $30 plus post. The lemon I cannot find anywhere. So I'm just debating whether I list them as a pair. No pun intended. The pear and the lemon together as a pair. I paid $2 each for so it was $6 for those 3 items. So I was intending to photograph them today, but I've been out and about shopping for competition entries. So yeah, and so other than that, comping wins. I haven't done a lot of comping this year, but over the last week I've won a $15 gift voucher, a $25 gift voucher. And then when I filled up to get petrol today, the servo had a competition to win either a car or $30,000 cash or daily prizes of $100. So I thought, okay, I'll grab a Dare iced coffee because there's another competition with Dare as well. So I can get 2 competition entries for one. And so I actually did win one of the daily instant prizes of the $100 gift card. So I won that today, which is really good. So that's it. I'm out on the hunt for all the competitions where I can win cash or cars. I've got 1 month left to spend my $10,000 flight. Well, it's only $8,000 now because I gave $2,000 away. But we've got our $8,000 of flight centre vouchers. So we have to have everything booked and that by the 13th of June. And we've been to Flight Centre and we've been we went a couple of weeks ago, or probably 3 or 4, and we don't know where to go. So she gave us suggestions of maybe Vietnam or New Zealand, doing a fly drive. So I thought about that, then we discounted that, and then we thought maybe we drive to Tassie, go to Geelong, get the ferry, take our car, do a driving holiday. And that was sort of on the cards. And then I don't even know how it came about, but then we just kind of thought, what about Singapore? So we went yesterday to get a quote on going to Singapore. The real cost, the thing that drives the cost up is the accommodation when you've got a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, because squeezing us all in one room, trying to get a room that's got, you'd only get a king bed or a queen bed, or 2, and one's on a sofa bed or something like that, or they're sharing a queen, which is not going to happen. Those 2 boys will not sleep in the same bed. There'll be fights. So we've been looking at having an apartment style or 2 connecting rooms, or if you go to a hotel, then 1 adult and 1 kid, but then you might not be together. So that I didn't even think about really until we started looking this week before we went to Flight Centre yesterday. Just how to sort the accommodation side of it out. So we've looked at a serviced apartment, which is expensive. There is one that's sort of further out from the real hub of Singapore, but then you think, well, the cost saving you'll probably be spending in transport and taxis and stuff. So I think for 8 nights, 9 days, or was it 9 nights and 10 days? I can't remember. The accommodation's going to be $5,600. So I am freaking out, because I didn't want to spend much more than the 8,000, but with getting flights that have a bit of flexibility on it and accommodation that's got a bit of flexibility if we had to cancel for whatever reason, if there's World War III and we get cancelled, I don't know. So the quote came out at like $11,000. So now I'm thinking I need to get my eBay happening again, because I need to come up with some money, to reimburse for that extra that we're going to pay for the Singapore trip, and then just, try to earn some spending money. So last year, I think I made, 5,700? I think it was after tax and all that from my challenge last year. So I'd love to make another 5,000 this year. We're already up to week 20, and my total is sitting at like 600 and something, which is really bad. So I don't think it's going to happen, but I feel like I've now got something to drive me again. I've got, because I hadn't set a challenge this year. I think I might have said try to get 5,000, but it wasn't for a purpose. Whereas now it's like, right, I need to, I've got all this money is going to go to Singapore, and they do have a shop over there. I think it's called Magma Heritage. They sell Blythe dolls. So I want to go over and buy a Blythe doll there. So I'll need at least $250, $300 just for one doll. So I'm now like thinking, okay, I've got to get my eBay game happening again. I am thinking of listing some of these Silkstone Barbies. Not sure how many, if I just get rid of them all or try to get rid of them all. But yeah, so that's things to think about. But yeah, so I feel like I've got something to motivate me to get back on track and to hopefully get into selling more. I have taken heaps of photos of things to list over the last few weeks, but because of the eBay changes that were coming in, I haven't been listing them. I've been waiting. So I'm going to do the rest of my listings, just the prices for the buy fee. Then I'm going to start getting into listing all the stuff that I photographed, the new stuff that hasn't been in my store previously. So that's my goals. So hopefully I'll have some more sales next week and I can get back into doing these weekly videos of what sold and how I'm tracking. So yeah, thank you for watching and see you in the next one.